Hello and welcome to Billy Ho Sports. Let's recap the final major weekend, I guess, of prep races. We're not completely finished, but they were really awesome. Thanks for joining me as we reflect back over the weekend's events. And I do have a top 10 video that I will be publishing, so be on the lookout for that. This is just going to recap this weekend's races and see where the horses land and go from there. So this Derby video will be as along with the rest of them in my playlist. So check that one out. I've said it and I'll say it again. I think they're going to be really helpful when you start doing your handicapping for the Kentucky Derby. Go back and rewatch these videos and you can skip through them to whichever races you want. And you can get a lot of extra inside information. So all in one place, which is a real good benefit there too, I think. So I appreciate that. Just subscribe to the channel, give us a big like, leave comments, all that kind of good stuff. Everything works for me. So we are going to get into the Wood Memorial first, and that was a pretty solid field, promising colts there. Resilience ends up giving trainer Bill Mott back-to-back wins to go along with that 2023 winner, Lord Miles. He was a colt that I mentioned in my preview video about being on the inside position number 1 and being able to get a good ground saving trip and maybe be able to slip through around the turn and kind of catch him off guard, which I kind of think he did. But he got a really big break with the scratch of El Grande O, who was in post position number 2, which allowed him to move over to post position 1. So not only gets him off the rail a little bit more comfortable, it also eliminates the major speed horse that was right next to him. So anyway, like I mentioned before, it was a good saving trip on the inside, and he was able to rate from just off the pace, but then he was able to get in and sneak outside to the 3 path into a perfect spot to close in the stretch run. And it was very unfortunate to see the 12 deposition go down. He clipped heels. I think it was with the 13 Uncle Heavy. They were right there next to him. It could have been the other horse to the inside seconds before that, but it was really hard to tell. And now that it's been edited out, it's harder. So anyway, I think it cost Uncle Heavy a spot in the Kentucky Derby because I think that he would have been running on and would have either got up for second or third, and that would have probably been enough to get him in. So anyway, in all that mayhem, Society Man and Protective and Lonesome Boy, 3 just absolute bombs, fill out the superfecta. I didn't see what the payouts were there, but it had to have been just incredible because Resilience was like 5-1. So anyway, Society Man benefits the most overall. Obviously, he gets 50 points, gets him in the Derby. That's another Danny Gargan horse, and I believe he's part owner. So he's got an additional horse to travel with Dornoch. So that's kind of cool for Danny, getting 2 horses in. All in all, I think the Wood Memorial was a pretty solid race. I don't think anybody that's not going to make it in, I'm not really worried about. So being snubbed, so to speak, I think we're going to get all the top horses that we need. Toyota Bluegrass was obviously the highly anticipated rematch. Dornoch, Sierra Leone. Those 2 did battle last December in the Remsen. Go back and watch it from my videos. I've gotten several. You've seen that stretch battle. He was not able to get Dornoch back in December, but he showed it out in the Toyota Bluegrass last Saturday. Just a touch, hit the stretch drive in the lead, but no lead is safe when it's concerned with Sierra Leone. He just runs them down, chews up turf down the stretch, and just gobbles up all the leads. And he ran right by him to win easily. He made it look easy. Just the way he runs. He just has all that power left to go in the stretch drive, and that's going to serve him well in the Kentucky Derby. Pinning on pace, I would say. So Sierra Leone is sired by Gunrunner, trained by Chad Brown. Uh, will be one of the top two choices, probably. Just a touch is going to go. Brad Cox, two back-to-back seconds in the major preps. Excellent. Ran in the slop at the Gotham. So he's going to be solid. He'll be a horse to keep an eye on. Uh, he's been in three different tracks, so he's experienced. Even though he's only making his fourth start, he's got experience in multiple tracks, which is nice. None of them are Churchill, but obviously Dornoch will be going to Churchill as well. That Remsen win, then the win in the Fountain of Youth got him there. So I think he'll be forward. He looked like he got off slow. He was very keen early on. If you can see his head kind of popping early through the race, he wants to run, and he's being held back by Louis Saez because he doesn't, because the pace had been pretty fast all day long, and Louis was trying to keep him in check. But maybe Louis should have let him go a little sooner. I don't know. Sometimes you don't get the response you want out of a horse when you're holding them back like that and they want to run. Could have been the case Saturday because he just really didn't have it down the stretch. It's not like he run a horribly bad race, but so I'll be looking forward to him trying to shoot for the bounce back in the Kentucky Derby. Now, let's finish it up. Santa Anita Derby. Trainer Philip D'Amato was looking to get those 100 Derby points to firmly land his colt Stronghold into the field. Stronghold, sired by Go Sapper, continues to improve. His effort in the Santa Anita Derby down the stretch, out kicking Imagination, I thought was very strong. He had this previous strong effort before that over at Oakland, or no, coming out of the Sunland Derby. So he's I know he's had some all weather track, but you can see how well he ran at Santa Anita coming off those races. Imagination and Stronghold both hooked up. They duked it out. Stronghold prevailed. Frankie Dettori actually, unfortunately, got the second place on Imagination that day, but he had won 6 straight races leading up to that on Saturday, tying the record for most consecutive wins in a single race day. But and poor guy's having an amazing year. I think he's riding his final season as a jockey. So anyway, that's going to cover this. Check out the top 10 video because I'm going to wrap all this into it. And then we'll see a list of the top 10 contenders according to my figures and what I've seen over the last 6 months. So it's going to be a very good video. Be sure to check it out. Thanks for the support. See you soon.